This is Yair Davidiy speaking to you from Jerusalem, the capital of Israel. We are now continuing our discussion of the tribe of Asher, the Israelite tribe of Asher. We have a previous talk entitled Asher the Warrior, and we are expanding on some of the subjects that we brought up in this talk. And this is important. The tribe of Asher is an important tribe amongst the 12 tribes of Israel. The tribe of Asher is predominantly to be found amongst the lost 10 tribes of Israel, and the lost 10 tribes of Israel now are to be found amongst Western nations. And we trace Asher to elements in Scandinavia, become Asir, also in Ireland and in Scotland, and in the West in general. And on another occasion we will go into more details about this. Presently we are concerned with one issue, and that is the fighting qualities, the preeminence, the priority of Asher as a warrior tribe, a fighting tribe on behalf of all of Israel. Deuteronomy 33 and Deuteronomy chapter 33, Moses, we are told how Moses, shortly before he died, he blessed all of the tribes of Israel. The last tribe to be blessed was the tribe of Asher. Asher was blessed, as we find in Deuteronomy 33:24, and of Asher he said, Asher must be blessed of sons, let him be favoured by his brothers, and let him dip his foot in oil. And according to the commentators and consensus seems to be that is the end of it. That is the end of the blessing of Moses on this particular instance to Asher. And in continuation of these verses, Moses continues and he gives a blessing, or he says words of a blessing of predicted favour to all of the tribes of Israel. But nevertheless, a more deeper examination of the verses in question show that as indeed does apply to all of the tribes of Israel in general, but it seems to have a special pertinence to Asher, above and beyond what each and every one of the tribes was to receive. So we'll look at these verses. Deuteronomy 33, continuing from the blessings of Asher. The blessing of Asher was in Deuteronomy 33:24. And we find in the next verse, verse 25, your sandals shall be iron and bronze, as your days so shall your strength be. And in the Hebrew and original, and also according to the rabbinical commentators, they say that Asher not Asher, they say this refers to tribes on the border regions, and Asher was indeed on a border region, who will be locking up. The word translated as your sandals, Na'alecha, actually means your locks. They will be locking up, they will be guarding the approaches to the promised land. And this is what Asher did. And he continues in verse 26, there is no one like the God of Yeshurun, who will rise to the heavens to help you, and his excellency on the clouds. The God of Yeshurun. Yeshurun, or Jeshurun as it's transliterated, is another name for Israel, for the tribes of Israel in general. The God of Yeshurun. Nevertheless, it has a special linkage to the tribe of Asher, as we show according to the commentary, his kune, the breastplate that the high priest wore. So on it was written, it was the 12 stones. Each and every stone was apportioned to one of the tribes, and on the stone was inscribed the name of whichsoever tribe it belonged to. In addition, there were also written on this breastplate, Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, Shifta Yeshurun, all the tribes of Yeshurun. And this, so we find this expression Yeshurun, as we find here, Yeshurun, in verse 26. There's no one like the God of Yeshurun, Deuteronomy 33, verse 26. So according where the and these additional words, Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov, tribes of Yeshurun, were written above the names of the tribes on the breastplate. And so when it was written across like this, and the words might be split into two. One letter on one stone, the rest of the word on another stone. As you may see in the illustration that we have provided, also on an article on this subject, or a couple of articles actually on this subject. And when it comes to the name Yeshurun, we have Yashar-on. The name is split into two, Yashar-on. And both of these names mean something in Hebrew. Yashar is a predominant, the ordinary element in the name Yeshurun. Yashar, meaning upright. And Yashar is written above the name of Asher, of the tribe of Asher. And then On, the second element, is on the tribe of Joseph, is on the stone of Joseph. And On may mean strength and might, which is pertinent to Joseph. And also we should remember that Joseph married the daughter of the priest of On, and from this daughter he begat Ephraim and Manasseh, the tribes of Joseph. At all events, Yasha, the name Yasha, meaning upright, is also found on the stone of Asher. And according to the Shifta Yisrael, a book by Fishel Ma'al, a very good book on the concerning lost 10 tribes, he brings sources showing that the tribe of Asher had a special application or a special linkage to the name Yeshurun. In other words, the name Yeshurun applied to all of the tribes of Israel, but it was especially linked to the tribe of Asher. And even in Hebrew, the two elements, the two names are very similar. They are almost the same letters, apart from the initial vowel. And in Hebrew, the initial vowels could even interchange with each other, or they were very fluid at all events. So we have a linkage here, Asher and Yeshurun. And this follows what we are saying is this extension of the verses in Deuteronomy 33 pertains to all of Israel with a special applicability to Asher, as we shall see. And it continues, so there's no one like the God of Yeshurun who rides the heavens to help you. His excellency on the crowds, the eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. He will thrust out the enemy from before you and will say, destroy. Then Israel shall dwell in safety, the fountain of Jacob, alone in a land of grain and new wine. His heavens shall also drop dew. Happy are you, O Israel. In Hebrew, happy are you is Ashrecha, Ashrecha, which actually contains the name Ashur within it in the Hebrew verses. Ashrecha, Ashurcha, Ashurecha. In Hebrew, there's letters that spell Ashur are found in this expression. The very name Ashur, for the tribe of Ashur, means happiness. So happy are you, Ashrecha. Hints at Ashur. Who is like you are people saved by the Lord, the shield of your help, and for whom the sword is your majesty, as we shall see. And for whom, and the word for whom, and the Ashur. Once again, the name Ashur, the sword, is your majesty. Your enemies shall submit to you, and you shall tread down their high places. And so this is what we have, these other verses, as we have explained. And now we are coming to these words in Deuteronomy 33:29, where it says, happy are you, O Israel, who is like your people saved by the Lord, the shield of your help, and for whom the sword is your majesty. Now we should remember that in biblical exegesis, the principles of a biblical commentary, there are 70 different facets to the Torah. The Torah can be explained in numerous ways, and as long as it does not impinge upon what you should do, your practical application of the law, each of these ways may be considered as valid, as showing a different aspect of the same truth. Because the Torah is the word of God, and God, when He delivers a message, He knew how to do so in such a way that He could say more than one thing in a small number of words. So this is what we have. And we have this word. We have this word, and in English we have a concept of homonyms, that is, words that sound the same but have different meanings, and also homographs, or words that are spelt the same but have different meanings. So the word Asher in Hebrew is similar to that. The word Asher is the name of the tribe. First of all, we have the tribe of Asher. It also means happy. And it also can mean for whom, or which, or that. So you got it, the word Asher, meaning the tribe of Asher, can also mean happy, and it can also mean for whom, for which, or for that. And in English, these such words, or such Such a usage of the word spelt the same is known as a homonym and a homograph. In other words, words that are spelt the same but have different meaning, or words that sound the same and have different meaning. Which also, and these words, the type of words also exist in Hebrew, even though when they're found in Hebrew, nearly always there's some type of inner linkage, connection between the basic root of the word. We never really find words using the same letters in Hebrew that do not have some internal connection between them. And the Hebrew is the language, is the ultimate holy language, and it has a very strong power. It's the language in which the Bible was written. So here we have the words in Deuteronomy 32:29, and it says, "Happy are you, O Israel, who is like your people, saved by the Lord, the shield of your help, and for whom Asher, the sword, is of your majesty." Now let's look at these words in Hebrew. What does it actually say? It says, Ashrecha, it is translated as happy are you, but also meaning, or being unable to mean, Ashrecha, that is the tribe of Asher, is yours. Asher is yours, Israel. Who is like you, a people saved by the Lord, as we continue, the shield of your help. The Asher, and for whom? The is and, for whom is Asher. Once again, the name Asher. Cherev Gavotecha, the sword of your pride. This word, sword of your, is translated as the sword of your majesty, and some commentators say it applies to the sword, meaning the sword of God Almighty, but it can also be understood, or both. It may also be understood in addition to the first meaning. It may also be understood as applying to Israel, the sword of Israel. And we have a midrash, an ancient midrash in Sifri, which supports this interpretation. We're not, in other words, what we're saying is not unfounded. It's not something we are imagining or inventing. We have sources for this, and so we have, who is like you, O Israel, happy are you, O Israel, Ashrecha Israel, that is, Asher is yours, Israel, who is like you, a people saved by the Lord, the shield of your help. And Asher, that is the tribe of Asher, Cherev Gavotecha, is your sword of uplifting or of pride. In other words, Asher will be the sword, the pride and uplifting of all of Israel, according to this understanding. And this understanding is according to the simple, literal meaning of the biblical text. And it is applicable. It does not. We're not saying that the other or the conventional interpretations are wrong. We are saying that in addition to how the verse is conventionally transliterated or given, our own explanation is also valid and applies and applicable, and it shows that the tribe of Asher was to be a source of strength, a source of pride and uplifting for all of the tribes of Israel. And so we see that these verses were indeed applicable to all of Israel, as the commentators say, but they had a special applicability to Asher, and Asher was through his sword, through his military prowess, to bring pride and glory and majesty and uplifting to all of the tribes of Israel. The God of Israel bless all of you and be with you always, and may you merit to rejoice in the goodness of the Almighty. Thank you.